Playboi Carti is an absolutely awful human being, and it's like throughout time, he's gradually got worse to the point where I genuinely think he's mentally ill. It dates as far back as his come up, and it's part of his character development going from a loving family man to a straight up abusive, pathologically lying narcissist. Coming up, Carti was really tight with UnoTheActivist and someone called Bloody Dior. They'd hang out, record music all the time, and it's pretty much said that Carti took a lot of inspiration from Uno stylistically, so it's not delusional to say they were practically brothers. Some people even think that Uno and Carti were cousins. Fast forward, Dior and Uno get some beef over some girl, but Bloody Dior takes it way too far and shoots at Uno after snatching his chain earlier. And for Carti, yeah, it's awkward, but anyone reasonable would choose the side of the person who literally got shot at over a woman. This wasn't the case. Carti was seen hanging out with Dior multiple times after the incident, like during when they were recording Dial It, and during this he basically ends up cutting Uno off. But it doesn't end there. Carti's snake tendencies got worse as he got bigger. Just like Uno, Carti was super close with Thouxandbandfauni, and when Carti started getting bigger, he slowly started leaving Uno and Fauni behind and linked up more with the ASAP mob. And keep in mind, by this time the Uno Bloody Dior situation had already happened. And a few months after the situation, Fauni and Yachty had some beef going on, which eventually led to Fauni getting jumped at South by Southwest. And instead of Carti taking Fauni's side like he should, he did a video with Fader literally a week after his mans got jumped called When Yachty Met Carti. And by the end of this, both Carti's relationship with Uno and Fauni, the two main people he came up with, was completely destroyed, with apparently Carti even talking shit about them to ASAP mob behind their back. And during basically a similar period to when this happened, Carti was also dating Ruby Rose, and Carti would always visit Ruby in the hood and shoot out a balcony for no reason. And one time the two got into a pretty bad argument because Ruby had hidden Carti's phone before a flight, which led to Carti getting pissed and shooting at Ruby. And apparently he had no intention to hit her, but clearly if you're willing to fire a whole fucking gun at your girlfriend, it's still a massive red flag, which we'd basically see later as Carti's ego gets bigger. And we know how fucked Carti's relationship with Iggy was, because when Whole Lotta Red dropped, Iggy went on a massive rant absolutely slating Carti, calling him a deadbeat dad. She said he missed his own child's birth to play PS5 with Uzi, claimed he cheated on her during her entire pregnancy with someone called Brandon, and that she was basically raising Onyx by herself. And fast forward to about a week ago, the beautiful people on r/Playboi Carti did some digging and went into finding that Carti was arrested for domestic battery in December, which no one would have knew about if someone from Reddit didn't decide to randomly go and dig it up. And this is probably the worst season because the woman he assaulted was allegedly pregnant with his own child. Apparently Carti grabbed her by the throat and strangled her until she could barely breathe because of an argument over Carti being the potential father of the child. She ran away, got into a car, but Carti followed her and started attacking her, even covering her own mouth so she couldn't cry for help. The police then came to find visible injuries around her neck, chest and back. And apparently for some reason Carti tried to claim innocence, but you know, I don't know, he's on crack. Iggy then goes on to tweet implying this isn't the first time Carti's done this to a pregnant woman, so again, massive red flag. And this isn't the first time Carti's been done for domestic battery. Back in 2017, he also got arrested at LAX for allegedly hitting his girlfriend. Carti wanted his girlfriend to call her mum to check in, but she didn't. They got into an argument which resulted in Carti snatching her phone out of his hands and pulling her by her backpack, leaving a red mark on her chest. Carti claims it was self-defense because she apparently hit him first, and the witness also agrees. And in 2019, Carti got fined because when he was in London during Wireless, he literally assaulted a bouncer who asked him to put out his cigarette. And in the same trip, he also assaulted his bus driver for taking a short break, even smashing the window out of fucking anger. Other than treating his girlfriend and homies like shit, he also treats his fans like shit, which everyone should know by now, right? And I don't think there's a single artist in the world who straight up lies as much as Carti does. Like, I don't know how schizophrenic or mentally ill you have to be to do that on such a consistent basis to such a big extent. Obviously, the first case is with Narcissist, with Carti making fake texts, doing fake photo shoots, and giving a fake album release date only to ghost everyone, whilst also charging $1,000 fucking dollars for dropship merch from fucking AliExpress, bro. And the second case is also the most recent case, which is him straight up lying about his album music. Can you imagine someone like Taylor Swift pulling this shit and still keeping her entire fan base? I fuck with Carti, right? But I genuinely don't know how he gets away with this. He did this plenty with Whole Lotta Red too. Fake teasing that it was going to come out soon, fake teasing songs that weren't even going to be on the album, fake teasing the deluxe, tons of weird shit, right? There's other small petty shit Carti's done, like scamming artists, taking their money for a music video shoot, then not signing an agreement so he doesn't have to come in it. And similar shit happened back in 2020 with young bands paying 100k for a Carti fee, where he recorded the worst possible verse of all time, and the verse was so bad it never ended up dropping, only leaking. And keep in mind, this was someone who was close to Carti during his come up, but Carti didn't even bother to revise his verse or improve it. And to me, I have no clue how Carti gets away with this shit. Some of it's kind of funny, like him getting away with being a straight pathological liar and still having such a strong fan base, but some of it's genuinely fucked, like strangling your pregnant girlfriend or assaulting your bus driver and smashing his window for taking a break.